Hi, everyone. It is me. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this very special Facebook Live. We're going to talk about the three things you need in order to create incredible change in your life. So, I'm going to give it a moment for people to show up and arrive because this is going to be an impactful training. And I will let you know, want to make sure, I'm live in the right place. I'm only going live in one place and just make sure it's all working because things have been a little bit funky lately. Been a little bit funky, but good. I'm excited for all the changes that I'm creating in my life, and I'm excited to share this with all of you. So I'm just making sure that we're in the right place. And Google Chrome has been very weird lately, and I'll give you a minute. And if you, as you're arriving, let me know if you are where you're from. And then if you watch this on the replay, make sure to let me know if you're watching it from the replay. And I'm just going to make sure I'm live in the right place. And I am. Great. Hi, Heather. So nice to see you. So I'm excited to talk to you about this topic because it's really an important topic. And it's something that I've learned really towards the end of last year. I'd been incorporating certain aspects of it in my life for quite some time, but I got really, really clear about these three things that are really starting to catapult a lot of change in my life. And the other thing that it's doing, besides catapulting a lot of change in my life, is it is allowing me to feel a little bit more peace. So I was just on a call with my assistant, my main assistant, because we have some things that are kind of still exploding a little bit, not working out really great. And I was on the call with her, and she the poor thing was like, oh no, because she cares so much about my business. And I'm like, oh no, it's okay. Like, I'm not feeling riled up like I used to. And I feel like when you put these three aspects into place, you're not going to feel as riled up either. You're going to be able to be clear. It's going to really help you to know like why maybe that thing is happening, what it's getting you clear on. And you're also going to know what kind of decisions and choices to make because it's super um, powerful to know, wait, this is what I need, this is what I don't need as you're heading in the direction. I'm talking a little bit in code because I haven't yet told you the three things. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Susan. Okay, so I'm giving it like a little time. I'm also annoyed that one of my cameras isn't working, but I'm going to let that go. So, what we're going to start out with first is what is one of the biggest things that you would like to change this year? And while you're answering that, I'm going to do something that like I said, when you run a business, you have to be ready to put out fires and you have to be ready to respond. So I was kind of on a call dealing with that, dealing with some personal things right before this. What is one thing that you really would like to change or see come to fruition this year? So put that in the chat and let's get into conversation about this. Hi, Sapphire. And if you don't want to get into conversation about that, that's okay. Maybe some people are like, I want to keep this inside and I don't really want to share this yet. But I'm going to tell you that the more you interact, the more you're going to have an opportunity to win a signed copy of my book. And I'm also going to put a little short special message for you in here. And I'm going to give one away, I think. We'll see how it goes. But right now I'm going to give one away. So Susan said, less weight. That's very, very clear. And it's a very good goal because it's a goal that is going to affect many different areas of your life. That's going to be a domino effect to everything else. So I think people are being shy and they're not wanting to say, so that's okay. So the main thing for your life to change is you have to know what it is you desire. And many times I hear from people, I don't know what I want. I don't know. I'm confused. I want this. I want that. And I'm going to call bullshit on that. And the reason why I'm going to call bullshit on that is because that's another excuse to keep you stuck and trapped because you may not know the big goal you want. You may not know the big thing you want to do, but you know that you want to lose weight. You know that you want to clean up the clutter. You know that you want to maybe walk more. So you know something that you definitely want to do. So when people say to me, I don't know, I'm so confused, I'm not clear yet, I really want to know. And this is a big one I get, which I'm not making fun of. The big one I get is I want to do my soul's work and I don't know what that is. And the reason why you don't know what it is because you're still fogged down with, I got to pay these bills, I got to send that letter out, I've got to clean the house up, I've got to clean the closet out. And if you don't set those goals to get that stuff out of the way, you're never going to get to the clear answers inside your soul. So, we're going to talk about the three things that are really going to catapult you into success this year. But here's the thing I want to hear first. Who's ready for this? Who's ready to finally commit to taking these things and really succeeding? Now, succeeding isn't only about money. Succeeding is showing up for yourself. Succeeding is showing up in your life. Succeeding is not saying, I'm going to do it tomorrow. If you have, I'm going to do it tomorrow in your repertoire, you're never going to do it. You have to stop. You have to do it today. You are not going to, we'll take Susan because she was so nice to say that. Not that Susan has, you're not going to lose 10 pounds today. You're not going to clean out the entire garage of 50 years of life today. But you can do something today that will move the needle forward. So I'm just going to check in with you first, and then we're going to give you the first thing. Gia says, I'm ready to commit. Susan says she's ready. Heather's ready. Tanya's ready. Hello, Tanya. Yay, Lisa's here. I don't know, front row Jen. I'd like to have financial security with a more predictable income. I love the work I do, but it's kind of sporadic. Well, front row Jen, if you're an entrepreneur, that is kind of the way entrepreneurial life is. So it may be about, here, I'm going to show this, what she wrote. It may be about, I want to be comfortable with the ups and downs and get financial freedom in terms of having enough savings so that when those downs are around, I'm not worried about it. Or it may be about, I want to learn sales systems so that I can have a rinse and repeat cycle and a lead generation that is giving me what I need to do, is rinsing and repeating and scaling. So tell me exactly what that is. I'm looking at getting my health in order. That's a good one. Education to change career. Love that, Heather. Beautiful one. Colleen says travel more. Okay, great. So the more interactive you get, the more you're going to have an opportunity to win a signed copy. And I'm going to put a little reading in there for whoever wins it. Okay. Okay. So here's the first one. The first thing that you need. First, let me see if you can guess what you think it is. What is the first thing that you think you need? And I'm going to tell you right now, these three are not in any particular order because they're actually interchangeable and they work together. So what is the first thing you think you need? The first thing you think you need. I'm going to go back to, I've got too many windows open. Been consistently taking action. Okay. A goal, decide, clarity. That's good. Set the intention. Okay, good. So these three things I'm going to give you, I think they're going to set you in such a pattern of stability and of structure that you have no other choice but to succeed. Okay. So before I give you the first one, I have one more question. Who here is growing a business? Who here is growing a business or wants to grow a business? Who here is growing a business and wants to grow a business? Give me that answer right now. Because I need to know if I'm dealing with people who are looking for a career change or not. I want to know if I'm doing that just because that would help me quite a bit. Tanya says she wants to, so keep giving me these answers so you tell me. Okay. Number one. This is number one. And guys, I'm going to tell you, take notes and listen. Front row Jen says she'd like to grow a business. I love front row Jen. I want a business, but more of a side hustle to start. Great. That's good. Okay. The number one thing, now it's not the number one you think, but the number one thing that I'm putting on my list today for all of you is discipline. It's discipline. If you don't have discipline, you are not going to change the habits that are keeping you back. Discipline is everything. How disciplined do you think that you are? Rate it from 1 to 10. How disciplined do you feel that you are? Rate it from 1 to 10. Because discipline is so important. If you don't have discipline in your life, you're going to be flailing all over the place. You're going to start a project and not finish it. You're going to have a great idea, do something with it, and then be like, oh, I don't know, I kind of lost steam. You need discipline. You need to change the habits that are keeping you stuck. And the only way to create truly great change is through discipline. And if you aren't disciplined, you aren't going to change. Old habits will just keep gnawing at you and they'll keep bringing you down. And you have to change your habits in order to change your life. So I want to hear right now, how many of you are ready to hear more about discipline and to become disciplined? And discipline doesn't mean, I'm going to share a little bit about my own story, that you're doing things that you don't like to do. Discipline is actually quite exciting. Because like I said before, you can't put off tomorrow what you need to start doing today. And if you can't put off tomorrow what you need to start putting off on doing today, then you're not disciplined. Now, there are always little caveats that happen. And when you're starting to really cultivate a very disciplined life and a very disciplined structure, you are going to trip and fall at times. And that's okay as long as you get back on the horse. So say you need to organize that garage. Say you need to lose the 10 pounds. Say you want to find that side hustle, like Tanya said. You need to be disciplined in your life to make those things happen. What are some things that you can do that are disciplined? So I have been very disciplined. I knew last year, I'm very goal oriented, right? And I'm very setting my intentions, and I have rituals, and I bookmark my day with rituals. And I do my best to figure out the 3 things that I'm doing in a day and then do them. And I try to, I keep everything on a tracker. And last year, things went choom like that. And I did the best that I could, but I wasn't disciplined enough. And towards the end of the year, I was reflecting on my year and what didn't work and what did work. And I realized I heard Spirit brought it to me, this podcast. And the guy was like, if you don't have discipline, you don't have anything. And I was like, that's it. That's what I need. And I started thinking about it. And I was like, okay, so where am I going to get more disciplined? And I started watching a lot of different people who are super disciplined and super successful. And you have to decide what success is for you. Success for me is financial success. Success for me is not having anxiety over paying bills. Success for me is feeling really healthy. Success for me is having a great community around me, even if it's just 2 people, great community around me. Success is also having a great tennis game, a great work environment. I love my career, so I actually love working. So what did I need to do to be disciplined? So I went and got planners, new planners again, and I started getting up earlier, between 4:30 and 5 a.m. And I like getting up early, and I journal every morning because that makes me feel good. And I journal, I meditate, I walk the dogs, and I exercise. Now, some of you may be like, I don't have all that time. Well, here's the thing. Watch excuses. So you either have to get up earlier or you have to cut something out. If you're sitting at the kitchen table and you're eating something really fast and you're scrolling through Facebook, don't do that. Read something really powerful. YouTube has these shorts now, which is great. Listen to a short YouTube video that is educational. Start absorbing things to teach you. You can't move from where you are if you're not learning new things. You have to be learning new things. So my discipline, I'm going to come to you guys in a second and see if you have any questions about this. I'm very disciplined now. I'm like, that's it, man. I 10X'd last year and whoosh, now I'm ready to 20X. I am not stopping because I realized there's something that was missing that I had to do. So I get up really early. I journal. I love journaling in the morning. And I used to struggle with that. Like, maybe I need to change that habit. Maybe I need to jump on the Peloton first. And I'm like, no, because I love it. It helps me to do a brain dump. Sometimes I'm reading something really inspiring or a business book and I'm journaling about that. My creative ideas are flowing. Then like I said, I go for a walk, I meditate, and then I exercise, and then I work. And I'm able to get to my job earlier now because I'm getting up earlier. And then I have a shutdown. I shut down the day. I shut down my work. I don't look at social media after a certain time. And then I take a walk with the dogs and I listen to an educational podcast or a book. something around mindset, anything, something that's educating me, something that's teaching me about sales if I want to learn more about sales. And then when I get into bed, I pray. I do a 5-minute meditation and a gratitude. I do a gratitude list usually, and then I do a 5-minute meditation, and then I do a little bit of educational stuff for me, or I read a novel. So here's the thing I want to tell you, things can go awry. So last week, my electricity went off. Now here I am, I'm doing great. I'm on top of my calendar, I'm on top of everything. I'm feeling amazing. I'm juicing, feeling so good. And the electricity goes out. And what people don't understand, when the electricity goes out where I live, we don't have cell service. We're cut off, and I live alone. So it can feel very messed up. And I'm a solution-based thinker, and I have a solar battery, and then the internet's out, and I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to work with it. And things went awry, right? So I can't get on the Peloton, so I did yoga. I can't get on the internet to maybe listen to something, so I read. I sat down and read a book about branding and worked on it for an hour. I did the best that I could with the time that I had. And it was great. Okay. And it was also hard too. I'm not going to lie about it. I have a thing when the electricity goes out that I have to work with my brain because my brain patterns are hooked into some trauma. So I have to watch it. So let's see where you're at. What is something that you can do that is disciplined that you can do today that'll shift your life? Hi, Sal. Nice to see you. Discipline is everything. I'm telling you guys, it's everything. If you don't have discipline, you're not going to change. It is everything. Like I said, you could fall off a tiny bit, but you got to get back on. Maria says this is bang on. Thank you, Maria. Getting up earlier is golden. It has been incredible for me. And Sapphire, she's in my Next Level Living program. She's doing a discipline of a mantra. I don't think she'll mind me saying this. And I haven't had a chance to answer that post, Sapphire, because I'm still catching up because of that power outage. But she's been doing a mantra, and now I think she's doing for 120 days. That's discipline. That is truly going to change your life. Truly going to change it. Okay? So right now, I want you to commit to a disciplined actionary thing, but really I want you to commit to a schedule of discipline. I really do. If who here hit the likes and the loves and do the comments really wants to shift. Now, when I talk about changing your life, that could be feeling more peaceful. That could be romantic love. Everything that I'm asking you to cultivate is an inner awareness and inner love for yourself that expands you. It's not about it's just not about outside resources. It's about inside resources that help you to succeed. Okay. I can do more to maximize short periods of time versus waiting for big blocks of uninterrupted time. Tanya, this is so true and so great, because I used to be the same thing. Blocks of time is part of my structure, but now I'm also learning how, like, 5 minutes, that 5-minute meditation every night helps me so much, so much. Great. Okay, let's go to number 2. Who's ready for number 2? If you're ready for number 2, let me know. Number 2, remember, these are not in any certain order, because you're going to see when I tell you all 3, they work together like magic. Okay. Number two is focus. And I'm going to talk about focus because focus is about goals. So focus, you could see how it could be interchangeable with discipline, right? Because if you're disciplined, you're focused. If you're focused, you're disciplined. See how I said they're interchangeable? So when you're committed to discipline, you just automatically get focused. And when you're focused, you get automatically disciplined, and you stop wasting time. And you start focusing on the tasks at hand. So I do my goals quarterly. So they're every 3 months. I have a yearly goals, and then I have quarterly goals. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't sit here and bite my nails to reach them. I put them out into the universe. It's like putting them into a navigational system. And they are my focus. They are my focus. But I also surrender to something greater, because I know that while working on my journey this year towards those goals, something else may show up that is going to blow me away in a great way. Or like last year, things kind of blew up. in a great way. That wasn't really great going through them, but it was what needed to happen. And I'm really grateful for it. So you don't hold on to those goals like it's got to be this way. You focus on every single step towards them. So when you focus on blocks of time, you know what you're doing because you have your focus, you have your goals. So I know 90 minutes, like after this live, I am going to study because I joined a class that I'm going to study. There's something, education is superbly important. You need to learn what you don't have. That is going to accelerate you to where you need to be. So I'm going to focus on 90 minutes. I usually do 2 hours. I like 2 hours. I set my clock for 2 hours. I put it down and I focus on the task at hand. And don't tell me you don't have time because you need to take a good look at your schedule and you need to find time. Stop looking at social media at 5 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night. You're going to find time. It's also making me more excited. I'm clear. An opportunity comes down the pike and I'm like, is that part of my goal? And I don't sit there and hem and haw and like, what do I, should I jump on? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's like, no, does that fit in the goal? Oh, it does. Okay. So I'll say yes to this. Does it not fit in the goal? No, I won't do that. And because I know what I'm doing, it frees up mental space. So I have more time to do productive things. When you're focused, you don't worry about shiny new objects. If a class comes by, you're like, oh, yeah, that goes for my goal. That's going to help me build the skills I need for my goal. I'm going to take that class. That's great. And you know what else happens? For me, I get excited to get up early. I get excited to juice. I get excited to work out because health is one of my goals. And you know what else I've been noticing too is at night, I'm not as tired. When my workday is done, because I used my mental energy in such a powerful way, I'm like, let's go for a walk. Oh, listening to a podcast instead of wasting my time on something that did not feed my soul. I used to be on all these different apps, communicating with people, talking about, I'm not a gossip, but talking about, I'm like, I stopped that nonsense. I have a couple of people, that's it. Listening to a podcast, listening to a book on tape, listening to one of my classes, going. And then what happens is I come home and all of a sudden I'm baking, because I don't eat sugar anymore. I'm baking certain cookies and I'm cooking and I'm doing laundry at night. Like I friggin' hated that stuff because I was exhausted. I was mentally exhausted. I'm like, I'm going to put the laundry away. I'm getting more done. And I'm amazed. And then by the time I do sit down and rest, and that's a scheduled thing too, pretty much. I'm like, sometimes I'll sit down and I'll do about 30 to 45 minutes of TV because I don't really have that much time. And I actually get bored. After I watch something and I'm like, all right, let's walk the dogs now. I want to go to my evening ritual because I'm really excited to get to that. This is going to help you stay on track. You have to know your goals. I'm looking at my notes, guys, just so you know, if you see me looking down. You have to know your goals and you have to stick to them. And when you fall off them, you have to get back on the horse. And what may happen too is like my goal last year was to do my second podcast. I was committed. I told everybody I'm doing it. And the shit hit the fan for 6 months. We're still cleaning up stuff. And I put it on the back burner. And it's still on the back burner and I'm okay with it. Because I got really clear about what I needed to do now and what I wanted to do now. I want to do that, but it's not the thing that's lighting my soul up right now. It's a story that I need to have time and space to tell. And I know that by doing what I'm doing that's right in front of me right now, it's going to give me the time and space to tell that story the way I want to tell it, not rush it. So tell me some of your goals right now. I'm going to come in and check in with you guys now. Education is why I'm here. I love that, Heather. This is great, Susan. I will walk every day by 10 a.m. mantra for weight loss. So I'm going to share a story in the next one. I have a routine, but not too much time spent, not focused. Probably because you don't know what your goals are, Marianne. You really aren't clear about your goals. You need to write every day in my calendar. I know the 3 things I'm going to do that day, every day. And if you knew those things, sweetie, and you knew the time you had the night before, everybody should do this. This is focus. You look at the day you had, you kind of rate it. I'm not going to give the whole, I can't give the whole system now, but you kind of rate it. And then at night, and then I schedule my next day. I know exactly what I'm doing the next day. I know the time I have. And if I have a day, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are usually packed with appointments for me. So I don't have a lot of free time in the appointments to do the content creation, the studying. That's okay because I know that those appointments are accelerating, they're moving the needle forward. And then I know Thursday I have a block of time. So it helps you to move forward with that. Great. Okay. So what is the goal? Yeah. See, this is great, Maria. Maria said, finish my course, which I've not been committed enough. I'm almost done. And now I just need to finish the task. I'll be done by the end of the week. Put it in the calendar. And you know what else I do, which really helps, Maria, is when I have it in the calendar, right? So I had gotten 2 incredible opportunities this weekend to go do something. And the electricity went out, which really kind of messed up my schedule and my productivity. And I really hemmed and hawed about the opportunities. And I decided not to do them. And because my goals outweighed, it wasn't even like I gotta work. I was excited. I knew the internet would be back on. I knew I'd have power and electricity. And I was like, I really want to work. I don't want to go. I know that thing is going to be there. That fun thing, climbing up a rock wall, that'll be there. I want to finish this because my people don't understand. People are like, I'm working too much. Like one of my friends is like, I know we work a lot, the two of us. I'm like, I don't complain. First of all, I don't work more than 40 hours a week. Second of all, I love my work. So to me, it's the funnest thing in the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. Remember the term workaholic. I don't use that term anymore. I love it. I'm getting to teach all of you guys. I'm getting to connect with people. I'm getting to help people. That's exciting. And then I get my own time for myself. So I love that you're going to do that, Maria. I really do. And when it's finished, now you're going to go to the next thing, which is selling it, right? So that's the next thing. All right, so let's go to number 3. Everybody, the only way you learn is by repeating in your words. I can't tell you how many readings I do with people, and they'll say to me, I won't remember readings, but they'll repeat something I said later on, and I'll be like, I don't remember readings, but I kind of doubt I said that. But people hear things the way they need to hear them. So I want you right now, while I'm at the end, you'll do this. Be ready to do this. You're going to give your own sentence to each thing. So we're going to end with this. You're going to give me a sentence for what discipline means to you, what you learned today. You're going to give me a sentence for what focus means to you. And by you doing that, it's a domino effect to anybody who watches the replay, and they get to learn by your perspective, right? I've never been a guru on a mountain. I can't stand that crap. I see people who do that and I just can't stand it. They have to be the one in the room that is seen and acknowledged. Even when it's my business, I'm like, we acknowledge everyone. So I want all of us to get together in a community and teach each other stuff, right? Because that keeps the energy going. Okay, here's number 3. And you're going to see they all work together, right? Discipline and focus. We saw how that worked together. What do you think number 3 is? What do you think number 3 is? I wanted to use this on a podcast, but I think I'll just do a separate one. I want to be excited in the morning to take action. So Tanya, let me talk about this real quick a second before I go into number 3. Everybody start writing what they think number 3 is. My hair is a mess. I want to be excited in the morning to take action. Sometimes I'm excited, but often I'm consumed by overthinking, fear of failure. If you're disciplined and doing what I'm suggesting you do, that won't happen. Or when it does happen, you just go to the task. You're just like, all right, I'm going to be afraid. That's okay. But I'm going to do this task today because I committed to this task. And you move through that fear. You don't move through that fear frozen, waiting till you feel better. You move through the fear, feeling it, and doing the task at hand. Trust me. Well, you would think it's action. You would think it's action. But isn't discipline and focus creating action? Isn't discipline creating action? I love that you guys are all saying action, but it's something else. You ready? It's mindset. It's mindset. If you don't have the mindset, like Tanya just shared, and I actually forgot what it was. If you don't have the mindset to believe in what you're doing and work through the limiting beliefs as you go through them, you'll never take action. You'll never take action. So the discipline makes you put something in place. The focus makes you to know what you're putting in place as you focus on it and you continue on. The mindset is the action that you need to take in order to keep moving forward. You need to keep working on what your mindset is in order to get through the stuff. Now, guys, let me share something with you real quick. I'm really tired of seeing out there how people are kind of making you believe that entrepreneurial journey is an easy journey, or I made $1 million and I just keep doing it. Even the people that are in the multiple seven figures, they are going to go through hills and valleys, because the higher up you go, there's new things that come your way. You have techniques and tools to deal with it better, but things still happen in your business. If you don't have this set, forget it. Forget it. It is so important. It's everything. And your mindset's tricky. It's very tricky. And the way that you have to be very aware of your mindset is to get super conscious to what you're feeling and thinking in the moment. I'm very, very conscious, right? I've been like this since I was a kid, I feel like, and I'm sure a lot of us have. So I'm not saying anything that you don't know. So I'm always very aware of my thoughts in the moment. And recently I noticed there was another layer. There's always another layer. And that's how we grow. And that's how we allow, when we're aware of our mindset. And it's not deep. I'm not analyzing to the point where I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm doing it as I'm living. And you have to get this to serve you and support you and teach you in a loving way. And if it's not supporting you and serving you and talking to you in a loving way, it needs to go. So I'm going to give you an example. So remember the power outage, right? So when I go through a power outage, it's not, I was diagnosed with PTSD. And so it's not the greatest thing for me. I noticed it happened 4 years ago here. People don't understand what it's like when all the power is out everywhere. You can't get gas. You can't get ATM. The grocery stores are closed. You can't get food. That was what they did here to protect the fires, right? So that was a really harsh experience for me. And it trickled into other things at all. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but it trickled into 9/11, going through that, because that was another experience, and then other things that happened in my lifetime. So when this outage happened, right, I'm in my productive week, I'm disciplined, I'm focused, and I'm noticing my mind did not work as well as it normally works. And I was conscious of it. I went, this is interesting. I'm seeing how I walk into the bedroom and I'm like, why am I here? Because I go into a fight or flight trying to, do I have enough battery? Where can I go for this? Where can I go for that? Well, the food is not going to last. Do the animals have enough food? All that kind of stuff. So I was aware of it and I said, no, I'm going to do better with it. I'm going to do better with it. I'm going to try. And as I was going through it, I did the best I could, but I was still having experiences. And I noticed a comment from someone like, oh, like people who don't know what it's like are just like, oh, just get over it. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it upset you. And that drives me nuts, because that's what people call spiritual bypassing, not allowing yourself to have the feelings. And it's also given from people who've never had this experience. So I really encourage people to stand. Now, I wasn't being a victim to it. I was figuring shit out. I am never one to sit back and go, oh, woe is me. I'm like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? I went to the police department. I was like, when are they turning this on? The whole point of the story is the mindset piece. So I was like, the power came on, everything, and I'm playing with the dogs. And all of a sudden it hit me that I was feeling a little bit bad about myself for not being super productive during the power outage. And I went, mindset, trying to get me. And then I thought about it and I said, wait a second. I was all set to work for hours with my solar battery and my internet. And I came home and I had lunch and I was starving and I was like ready to work. And the internet went out. Xfinity knocked out the internet. So there was no way I was getting anything. And I grabbed a book and I read for an hour and I wrote notes and I started rebranding. And I was like, no, no, mindset, you don't do that to me. I did really well. That's how mindset can trip you up. You have to understand where it shows up because it makes you make bad decisions. I'm going to give you one other decision. I want to see where you're at. So last year, I'm on top of my finances. I have great credit. I look at it a lot, and then I do invest sometimes where I put my business into a little bit of debt in order to invest in stuff because I think I need that thing and stuff like that. But I'm pretty aware. I'm pretty conscious of it. I'm pretty like educated about it. But I was thinking I wasn't because I had a bad mindset around it. I'm like, how could you have debt? What's going on? Let me hire this woman. So I hired this woman I did not like from day one. And she was giving me advice. She was going through my budget, and I was like, "That makes no sense. I have a money mind, financial mind. I have a math mind. Like that doesn't make sense in the budget. Why are you putting that there? That is you're double hitting the budget. That makes no sense." And she's like, "No, no, you need that." Da, da, da. And she did that with a few things. I was like, "That budget makes no sense," but I kept doing it. And then some chunk of money came in, and I wanted to pay something off. She's like, "Don't do that. Don't do that." It was the wrong advice, and I followed it. Because of mindset. Mindset told me that because people said she was good, she knew better than me. Don't do that. Now you have to go through those lessons. I'm being very vulnerable and truthful with you. Actually, I'm not upset about it anymore. Like I'm angry at her still. I will say that. I still have a little bit of that in me. I'll get over it. More probably a little angry at myself. But I know that when your mindset isn't healthy, you don't make good decisions. You just don't. And the thing is, we're all going to make decisions sometimes that are going to backfire, but you want to have the mindset to walk through it and make a better decision. So I ended that relationship. That was the proper mindset. That was the healthy mindset. So let me see where you guys are. And before we continue on, I want to now do helping you. I want to help you to grow into a better stage. And remember, I'm going to give away, I'm going to mail two books. I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to actually have Jess pick them. I'm not going to pick them because people will think I'm favoring people. I'm going to pick two books. I'm going to send you, even if you have the book, I'm going to send you an autographed copy. I hate autographs, to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to do that. Maybe I'll write a little something in there. It's just not something that is resonates with me. But I'm going to put a little reading, like a paragraphed reading in there for whoever gets this. So participate right now. It's important to participate. I'm going to go to your questions in a second. Now, yes, Maria Elizabeth already did it. I want everybody to do this. Let's go back to this a second. Make sure you write the sentence. I'll read yours in a second, Maria Elizabeth, but make sure you write down a sentence of what discipline meant to you, what focus, and what mindset is. And I'll summarize it in a second. But for those of you who really want to accelerate, I'm teaching a class live starting this Thursday. And if you can't make it live, it doesn't matter. And I have a coupon for you. It's a 10X class. And if the 10X word bothers you, don't worry about it. This class there's already a foundation class available. So it'll help you to take inventory of your life, put things away, and really get clear on where you want to go. And then the next 3 classes are live with me on Thursdays and Wednesday. Sorry, it starts this Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific time. But if you can't make it live, it doesn't matter. You're going into a Facebook group. I'm active in my Facebook groups. I think you're in there for 2 months. I can't remember the exact time. And you will get the live material. And we're going to go through the things that help me to 10X my life and to continue to help me 10X my life. We're going to go through, you're going to already have the class. As soon as you go in there, start working the class, you'll go into getting rid of the past stuff. You'll get clear on the present and you'll get clear on the future and start an action plan. So this class, you can learn about it at marilynalauria.com/new class, marilynalauria.com/new class. And then you can put in a coupon of, let me just do this real quick. Okay, let me show that banner. marilynalauria.com/new class. And if you put on a coupon 150 off, you'll get $150 off. So if you put in the coupon 150 off, you get $150 off. I really hope the action takers, I know I'm not being insulting to people who can't do it. But if you really are feeling called to do this, I want you to do this with me because this is where my brand is going now. My brand is going to, I can't deal with people anymore that stay stuck on the fence. I just can't do it. I don't care if you decide no, then decide no. but I want to help people that really want to create incredible change in their life. I want to, you know what? I want to help you to get out of the box thinking. And I want to help you to get into a place where you're really owning your life from the inside out and living it from the inside out. One of the things I've noticed with entrepreneurs, because I'm starting to work more in the entrepreneurial space, and if you're not an entrepreneur, you'll still get organizing your house, you'll still get that kind of stuff because it's goal oriented, and it's goal oriented the way I teach goals. Goals aren't like stick to it, it's like surrender and then stay focused and use your discipline and intention to get there and take action and mindset. But the thing that I really want to teach people is how to get out of the box thinking, because we all are creating something incredible and innovative, and we can't do it if we're basing ourselves on other people and the way other people do things, if we're thinking the way other people do it. And I want you to be able to take information from outside and really make it your own, and then make really positive, powerful decisions from that place. So I'm going to put the link in here in the comments, and you can just do 150 off, and you will get the $150 off. And remember, it's starting soon. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to share, I'm going to come to your thing, is remember, let me just summarize it. Discipline, right? Discipline is the first thing, because I hear people all the time saying, I don't have the time to do it. I can't do it. I got to close the shade. And you do have the time. I had a friend who had a baby under 2 years old, was pregnant, and was going to one of the top Ivy League medical schools. And her husband was a big TV producer. Wasn't like he was a stay-at-home either. And I looked at her and I said, how do you do that? How did you do it? She had 3 kids, did a renovation, and went to one of the top medical schools in the country. And she amazed me. And part of what it was with her, besides the discipline and being able to schedule things and stuff like that, and she wasn't an uptight person, she was totally cool. And part of it was mindset with her. She didn't play with the bullshit games in the head. She just, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it and make it happen. And she made it happen. So it's so important that you do these things. So remember, discipline helps you to create the structure in your day so that you're not wasting time. Focus lets you know how to spend the time in your day. And then mindset is the thing that helps you to have the belief in yourself to do the things that you really want to do, to stay disciplined, to stay focused, and to continue to move forward. Okay. So if you have a question for me now, let's take some of these things that you guys wrote. If you have a question for me now, write it in the comments. And remember, if you really want to learn, if you learned a lot from this, or even 1 or 2 nuggets, imagine what you're going to learn from me over the next month. Okay. When I work, I'm not doing it as much today because like I said, this is a little bit different. When I teach, I let my guides talk through me and work through me. I don't change my voice. It's me, but it's usually very elevated lessons, very elevated. Okay. So let's see. We grab Maria's first. Discipline, being focused to the love for yourself to get the things done. Love that, Maria. Focus, knowing and listening to your own gut. If we aren't focused, we're too scattered to hear what we need to. Great. Mindset, knowing what is going on around you, even if what you're doing, being mindful, honest of how you like your life is looking in your, how your life is looking in your, okay. I'm not sure because she didn't get to finish it. So how your life is looking. I'm going to leave it at that. That's great. It's great. Tanya says, I love the thought, what I want wants me, trusting that if I can dream it, it's for me. This helps with my anxiety. Yes, exactly. So Tanya said, discipline, keeping my word to myself, focus, knowing the few things, keeping my word to myself, big one, discipline, knowing the few things that will move the needle most on my goals. Great. Mindset, having my own back, talking to myself like I'd speak to my own daughter. Beautiful. Perfect. Great. Great, great, great. So here's the thing. Heather says, first for me is focus to find my clarity. Yeah, but I'm going to challenge you on this, Heather, because people get caught up in that. If you discipline your day, where you're disciplining yourself, getting up at a certain time, going for a walk, listening to a really great podcast, coming home, cooking a really nutritional dinner, listening to a great book, listening to this Facebook Live. It's going to help you to have more clarity so that you will get your goals. So, what are you focusing on? If focus is going to help you to get clarity, what are you focusing on? That to me is discipline. Because what you focus on, if you're disciplining things, okay, I'm going to focus on doing 10 push-ups a day because that's going to help me to get stronger. And you're focusing on something that is tangible that you can do. It starts freeing up the noises in your head, because there's always these noises like, do this, do that. I don't know what to do. Why don't I know what to do yet? Whatever. Helps freeing that stuff up. And then the focus, the clarity comes in. Trust me. I'm going to take one more and then see if you have any questions. Gia wrote, discipline is wealth and freedom to me. It is a structure that benefits my life. Great. But to me, that's not action oriented. So I'm sure you're just giving like a one sentence. So make sure you're disciplined also, Gia, in action oriented tasks. Focus is the ability to clearly work towards my goal and intention without distractions. Great. Which is also discipline. Mindset is the foundation for my success achievement. All three are my keys to getting all that I want from life. Beautiful. Let's see what Sapphire said. Do what is necessary to support self to make change habit. Focus, no goals, and stick to them. Mindset is let thinking support goal, not derail you. Great. All right. So let's see if anybody has any questions. I'll take one more. Disciplines means, is Lisa, making a commitment to something and sticking with it on a regular basis. Yes. Finding the time, energy, staying through fruition. Yes. I think Lisa, it doesn't mean that the others are wrong, but I think Lisa, you and I are probably in the same place with that. Focus means ignoring the distractions. Yes. And reminding yourself of your goals so you can stick to what will keep you on the path towards your goals. Mindset means facing and doing something about your limiting beliefs so that your brain supports your morale. Great. She's also in Next Level Living. So that is great. Good, good, good. Okay. So does anybody, Caprice, to be honest with you, this is what happens with me is I don't remember what I said. So she's asking me to write it because she's cooking dinner and listening, which I think it's great that you're cooking dinner and listening. I love that. I don't have a problem with that. If I can remember it, I will send you I will put it in the comments. Otherwise, go back and listen to it and write it down, because that's what I would say. That's what happens with me when I teach. I teach very much in alignment with my guides, and stuff comes out of me that a lot of times people requote me. And they'll acknowledge my quote. And I'm like, did I say that? And they're like, yeah, you did. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. I like that quote. That's great. Okay. Question. Still working on goal clarity. So this, Marianne, I hope you're still on. I want to go here a second. This bothers me. Okay. You must have something. There must be a goal. Is it to clean out the kitchen cabinets? Is it to do the laundry on time every single week? Is it to keep the car clean? Start with a goal that you know you have that is tangible and doable, honey. Trust me, this will be the domino effect to the bigger goals. It works all the time. Because I'm not denying the fact that some of you aren't clear. I'm not judging that. I'm not acknowledging that. I get it. I've been one of these people, I think, that always kind of knew what she wanted to do. And I remember running into someone in my early 20s and talking to her, and she was like, I don't know what I want to do. And that shocked me, because I was like, wow, you don't? It was the first time I heard it, because I never had that. But a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you can't stay in that pattern. So there's always that's why I'm trying to get you, if you discipline yourself, if you know, no matter what, every day, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. Every day I'm going to do that. Rain or shine, I'm going to walk in the house for 10 minutes. It's like my 5-minute meditation at night. There's a couple of nights I did not want to do it. Last night they texted us again. The power was going to go out. I was like, I don't want to do this 5 minutes of silence. I said, do it. When you show up for yourself every single day with a simple task, you get clarity on your goals, honey. So I want you to just pick one goal. I want everybody here to pick one goal. Okay, honey? I hope that helps you. Tanya. Thanks, Caprice. Thanks for understanding. Question. I've invested a lot to heal my insomnia. It's much better, and my discipline and focus have improved as a result. But when I have really bad nights, I surrender my goals with self forgiveness and just focus on being kind to myself and resting. Am I letting myself off the hook? This is what I would say, Tanya, to this. I would say to work against it. And I'm going to tell you why. I understand this. I need sleep, right? And if I'm tired, I'm not a happy camper. So I'd like you to pick three things, but I'd like you to pick at least one to two things that you will do no matter what if you're tired, if you have a sleepless night. So always have something in your pocket, like say three things that no matter what, you're going to do every single day. And that could be juicing. It could be something simple, right? Even though juicing is not always the simplest thing when you have to clean the juicer. It could be the 5-minute meditation. It could be 5 minutes of watching a video. Three things that you can do no matter what. So when the sleep happens, where you don't get the sleep, you're committed to those three things no matter what. Because what I'm thinking is happening with you, it's what I've noticed with my PTSD stuff, right? It's if it's the mental, our mind is like, you can't do that. You're too tired. You're too tired now. You can't do that. Oh, there you are again. You're too exhausted. Go to sleep. Go take a nap. And I've been listening to some people who have hardcore militant mindsets that are super successful, and they would never let an excuse like that. And I know it's really hard because I don't like it when I'm tired either. So I really respect this. But I've noticed from them, they don't allow an excuse like that to get in their way of their success. So I've been thinking about this myself because if I don't get sleep, I'm not happy. And I sleep pretty well. But I had those nights. So that's why I'm saying the little things are important. Make sure that's the day that you eat healthy. Make sure that's the day you drink a lot of water. But make them the same things so that you could see them happening every single day. So that's why I'm saying if you have I get down on my knees and pray. Never done that. I mean, I'm not Catholic anymore, but I raised Catholic and everything. Now I'm on my knees at my bed, surrendering, not praying and begging, surrendering, having a conversation. It's such a beautiful ritual. You can do that. I get in and do the meditation. I get in and do you could do the gratitude list. Make sure you do it because your brain is telling you you can't. That's what's happening. Tell me what you think about that, sweetie. I don't understand this, Marian. My issue is that these things are already goals, but are you doing them? Are you succeeding at them? I'm maybe looking too far into the future to make a difference. Well, if you're looking too far in the future, you're missing what I said in the beginning, which is you're putting it in the navigation system, you're surrendering, and then you're disciplining every single day, tiny little actions towards that goal. So you first told me, so I think you're confused, honey. I think your mindset's confusing you. And bear with me, guys. I'm very direct, so I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm compassionate to people's stuff. But I'm going to kick people in the butt because I want to see change happen. So you're telling me you're not clear. I love the picture, by the way, the wedding picture, the little wedding picture. You're telling me you're not clear about your goal, but now you're telling me you are clear about your goals. What's happening here? Because you are clear. So what's happening? Tell me. So I think honestly, Marianne, I'm going to say something that may hurt your feelings, but I may be wrong. So I'll say that. I'm going to put a disclaimer, but you're making excuses. I'm telling you, people are going to continue to work with me. We're going to accelerate to a whole other level because I'm not going to allow excuses, but I'm very compassionate. I know things happen, but I'm going to push people past their excuses into acceleration for themselves. I got to let my dog out. I'm sorry because he's an older dog. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. He's a little bit older, and if he's got to go out, I got to let him out. So, Marianne, let me know what you think about that, okay? I don't know what that means, Hudson, but I'm glad that it helped you. Okay, does anybody else have any? So, Tanya, if you're still having a hard time writing, then make sure you write for 5 minutes. That's it. Make sure you write for 5 minutes. You can't, if something goes on and things happen in your life, right? And these hardcore mindset people, they still do it. So they make themselves sit down and they do it. I don't know that I have that in me either yet if things happen, but then make sure you're writing for 5 minutes. Okay, great. Got it. Fine. No, I'm finding them. Great, 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 Marianne. Okay. So if you're interested in joining me in the class, come go to marilynnalauria.com/new class. Tell me your biggest takeaway right now and what you're committed to doing. Tell me what you're working on, what you're going to continue to work on. And if you're interested in joining the class, go to marilynnalauria.com/new class, and you have a coupon, 150 coupon. And the live class starts on Wednesday, but there's already a foundation class in there. Thank you so much, guys. I'm looking forward to just seeing those of you who decide to join us. But no matter what, I want to see that everybody got a win from this. So I'd love to hear what your win is. And I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks again. Much love to all of you. Bye.